Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Christine and we are going to be doing several different steps over the next day or so. So first of all, we're going to be taking some chickpeas and dehydrating them. And then from the dehydrated chickpeas, we're going to be making our own chickpea flour. And then from the chickpea flour, we're going to be making a flatbread and I think tortilla-like. So I thought I'd bring you with, so come on with. Okay friends, we are going to get these cans of garbanzo beans opened up and rinsed off, and then one by one I'm going to put them on the trays, dab them off, and get them in the dehydrator. So I just thought I'd show you my super duper swing away can opener. Some of you may know I had thumb surgery about 1.5 years ago on my right hand, which I'm right hand dominant, and I don't have really good grip, so if you see me struggling sometimes, that's why. And this is kind of a lifesaver. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but I heard it from one of my other channels, and they actually do make two different ones. One where the handle folds flat, so that's what I use in our other location, but this is the one that I have here. So it's super easy if you have arthritis or something. It just is a lifesaver. So I'll just show you one quick little can and rinse off, and then we'll do one by one here. And I'm going to flatten them out so they're only one deep and spread out as much as I can so that they dry more quickly. And you'll see that some of them are split and what have you. You'll see that some of the skins come off, which if you can pull some of the skins off, that's great. Yeah, like I said, some of them are already split. You'll see right down the middle. But spread them out. I only have 5 cans. And then because I did rinse them, I'm just going to take a paper towel. And you can take a dish towel or what have you. I just happen to have paper towel down here. And I'm not squishing or anything. I'm just going to kind of roll so that they're a little bit more dry. And we're going to get these in the dehydrator. Okay, I've got all 5 trays in, and I'm going to close the door. This is my kusori, and actually I'm going to adjust, temperature down. I had something else in there. So we're gonna do 125, and time, we're gonna do about 8 hours. So I will check it tonight, and my project is going to be making some chickpea flour. Okay friends, I am getting ready for bed. So there is, ooh, they're actually really dry. I'm really excited. Okay, well this will be a project for tomorrow. Yeah, they're definitely ready. Okay, well I'm gonna get them in a big mason jar, and then I'm going to grind them up tomorrow and make my chickpea flour. Awesome. Okay friends, so I have my chickpeas here. I have roughly 4 cups, and I have my Ninja out, my bowl. I have a fine mesh sieve. This one I believe is like a 6-inch, and it's just kind of my favorite one for sifting in general. It's a little bit finer than the regular handle ones, and I've got my container to blend everything up. So I'm going to put roughly 1 cup in here. Let's see how close I am. And other side. Yep, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to put my lid on, and I'm going to do one of the sequences on the machine, and I got to get it plugged in. Okay, let's get moving here. So I'm going to do a full blend on this, which is 45 seconds. Okay, Let's take it off. And I do see a couple chunks in here, so good thing we're sifting it. It pretty much is powder already by the time it comes out, but you just want to make sure and get those extra chunks out. And then I can send these chunks back through. My recipe that I'm doing today is calling for 1 cup of chickpea flour and 1 cup of water, etc. I've got my ingredients out, and I'm just going to sift it the best I can. And you can kind of see the extra chunks that are left in here that aren't going through. So what I'm going to do is save those to the side. And you can see how it really is powder, like actual flour like. And I don't think I quite have 1 cup here, so I'm going to send another round through. Okay. And 1 more sift. Looks good. And so doing chickpea, it makes your bread gluten-free, and chickpea is such a powerhouse too. It is full of protein, and it also is a binder, so it helps kind of stick together to make the bread. All right, that looks pretty good for my 1 cup. Okay, so I'm just going to save this other to the side. So I'm just kind of scraping down the edges of where I sifted. And that looks really good. And you know it's like the finest of fine from sifting it. Okay. So the other trick with making chickpea bread, flatbread, any type of bread with it, is that you kind of have to let it sit. So right now I'm going to get 1 cup of water, and this is roughly 1 cup of chickpea flour. And I'm just going to make a little hole in the middle here, and that's where I'm going to put the water, and then I'm going to incorporate it. And I'm just going to kind of pour it in. Let me switch hands here. I'm going to pour it in slowly to make sure it incorporates all the way through. And the goal is to get out all the lumps and bumps along the way. I'm going to pour the rest in. And kind of smash it as you're getting that liquid in there. And you kind of want almost like a polenta type consistency. And then if you're finding that it's a little bit dry, you can add more water. So I'm thinking that mine was roughly a little bit more than a cup, so I might add a little bit more. I just brought a 1/2 cup over. And then like I said, the trick is you gotta kind of let it sit. But I'm going to go ahead and get my ingredients in. There we go, that looks good. So I ended up putting roughly a cup and a quarter probably. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to add our other ingredients, and then we're going to let it sit for 2 hours before we come back to it, just so it all gets incorporated in there. So we're going to add, let me get rid of this water. We are going to add a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Okay. And then everything is pretty much to taste. So we love our pepper here. I'm just going to give it a few shakes. And the goal is to have a wonderful tasting bread. So I'm doing a couple shakes of organic oregano. Here's where the fun comes in, the cumin. The cumin really snaps it up to that next level. And I'll leave all the details, so roughly, you know, teaspoons, etc. And then I've got a fun salt-free spicy seasoning. We're gonna spice it up a bit. And then we're gonna add just a dash of salt, Redmond's real salt. And then some minced onions. So we're going to give this a mix so everything gets incorporated. And I should just add a little bit of garlic too. So let me go grab my cloves of garlic. So if you remember my video, my garlic hack, so I'm about halfway done with that. So I'm just going to reach in, and my olive oil did end up getting firm, so it is a solid piece. I love just being able to grab it and add it to pretty much anything. So this should meld in there. We just probably grabbed about 1 clove or so. And it smells amazing. And the consistency is good. Okay. Next, we're just going to cover it up and let it sit for 2 hours. Okay friends, it has been 2 hours and we let it sit. I just kind of took a spatula and scraped around the sides. So I have my toaster oven on, and we are going, I turned it to broil, so it's at 450 degrees. And we're going to do that for between 10 and 15 minutes. So I am going to keep an eye on it. So right now my pan is hot. I've got it greased up with some olive oil, and we're going to do a little flatbread. So I'm taking like a ladle size, and I'm just going around. I'm just gonna kind of do a sample. We just got done eating dinner, so I don't really need any, but okay. So this is, I don't know, like a 4 by 4, and you can make one giant one if you would like. So I'm going to put this in. And it does help that it's heated up already too. All right, and we're gonna hit start. And I'm gonna set a timer for about 10 minutes and take a look at it, and then decide if it needs any more time, like if the edges are getting brown, etc. So we'll see in about 10 minutes. Okay, the timer went off. There's 4 minutes left. I'm just gonna take a look at it. So you can see kind of the edges are getting brown, which is great. So it's at 4:50, 4 minutes left. I think that will suffice. So we'll wait 4 more minutes and get it out and let it totally cool. Okay, the timer just went off, and I'm gonna get it out. It looks really good, and I'm gonna let it totally cool before I move it. Okay friends, it's totally cooled. I'm just not taking any chances here. So there we go. And then re-oil it if you're going to make another one. And let's see the consistency of it. And it's kind of like naan bread. So you can break it apart, dip it. Otherwise, it looks great. All right, let's get this video closed up. Okay, friends, we did it. We made it to the end. So we first dehydrated the chickpeas, garbanzo beans, at 125 for 8 hours. And then we separated them. We actually did some conditioning to them for a day or so. And then we ground them up and then sifted them into chickpea flour. And then we made up our recipe and we ended up with some delicious, like naan bread. And it's got a great consistency. You can season it up how you'd like, and I'll leave the details of what I put, but it's kind of a base recipe. So I appreciate you stopping by. And what are you guys making these days? I'm definitely trying to use what I have and be creative. So if you like videos like this, hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Christine's Routines. Take care and God bless. So I thought I'd bring you on the trip with me. No, doesn't make sense. And with the chickpea. Ooh, it's got a little zip to it. Hey honey, you wanna try some? Oh, whoopsie.